Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Black and Beautiful Chit Chat Connections. Y'all know y'all are my Black and Beautiful family, and today is about to be amazing. Okay, I have a wonderful guest with us, and we are going to be talking Black portrait photography, y'all. Yes, have you ever even heard of that? I mean, I had to do a little bit of research. So as you know, we do research on this platform. So I'm gonna give y'all a little background, and then we have an expert in the field who's gonna talk to us about her amazing craft. And so I just want you guys to know, last week we had Shalane Garcia, and she taught us about the being observant and patient in the workplace. We went through a series of different tactics that you could use. If you haven't already tuned in, go back and tune into that episode and all of the other episodes. Because don't remember, we're already in season 2, guys. I'm so happy to be here with you, and I'm so happy to introduce you guys to this beautiful woman by the name of Rakiyalynette, and she is here to grace us with her presence. So I'm gonna hush up, okay, and I'm gonna let the queen tell us who she is. So let's introduce Rakiyalynette from Rakiyalynette Photography, and the crowd goes wild. Tell us about who you are.
I am Rakiya Hernandez, but Lynette's my middle name. I am a portrait photographer, and I'm located in upstate New York. And I love photographing Black people, Black women
In particular.
in particular. I photograph all people, but my most favorite, my connection.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about your mission. I know, I asked you, what is your mission? What is it that your photography company does? Like what is the service that you provide?
My mission is to hold space, a safe space for women. It's been usually women. It's women that come to me, but it has been to hold a safe space for women to um, kind of like dig down deep into themselves and um, find out what they've been suppressing. Expressing themselves creatively. I guess you could say. Um, yeah, and to encourage it, empower them, to celebrate themselves in that moment as they are. I hear a lot of women telling me, "Oh, I want you to take my picture, but I need to lose 15 pounds. I need to lose 10 pounds." Like, no, 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 no. Celebrate yourself as you are right now.
I love
So that's
Sorry, did I cut you off? I want to make
no.
sure that you finish speaking because I'm so excited. I'm like, girl. So, guys, let me give you guys a little story before we go into our icebreaker and our agenda for the day. I met Rakiya at the Upstate New York Black Expo. And she literally just walked up to me and was like, "Can I take your picture?" And so I'm like, "Well, she's a photographer. She's here. Sure." I'm thinking she's going to want me to stand in front of my booth. Rakiya is a portrait photographer. And like I told you guys, I'm gonna get into what portrait photography actually is, but I met her having experienced portrait photography and not even knowing that it happened. So she brought me to under these bleachers and she shot me through like these beams, and there was a particular light that she was looking for, and the light her assistant had to hold the light in a certain way. And guys, my pictures made me feel so absolutely beautiful. And I just couldn't help, Rakiya, but to like take your direction. Like you were like, okay, put your face like this. Okay, look in this direction. Okay, and I'm like, but I don't like this side of my face. And you were like, no, just stand right there. And she took my photograph with just a speck of light shining through, like, like I said, these beams. And I was like, what is this? So obviously, I met her. She gave me her card. I started to stalk her a little bit. And I started to see all of these beautiful images that she was creating. And they featured primarily women of color, but I could tell that she was so creative that she could do that for any person that came her way. So I said, I have to ask her to come on Black and Beautiful Chit Chat Connections because our audience is interested in uplifting the voices of people of color in different industries. And I mean, photography is a very, very interesting industry. So I had to get you here. Yeah, I had to get you here. I'm so happy that you decided to grace us with your presence. I mean, what were your thoughts about our first meet?
Of the first time we met.
Yeah,
Um, to be honest with you, I'm not used to just walking up to people that I do not know and asking if I can take their photos.
really.
Um, but it was something that I was asked to do portraits of and just capture, you know, um, the attendees and the vendors. And I saw you. It wasn't just like by chance, oh, just a random person. I saw you, and I was like, I've got to get a photo of her. I need to take her picture. And I just like knew it was like not even planned out. I knew exactly where I wanted to do it. At that moment, I wasn't sure how I was gonna capture like in because it was very dark under those bleachers. But I think you were just standing there, and I could, and you were just standing there moving your head, and then you moved your head a certain way, and I was like, that's it right there. And I just saw the light hit your skin, and the way that the light bounces off of you know your skin. I was just like, perfect.
I loved it. Man, I've been showing those pictures to everyone I could find. Like, you want to see some of her photos later on as we get deeper into today's podcast. So, I'm going to go into an icebreaker question. I always like to ask my guests an icebreaker question so you guys can get comfortable and you can start talking. Like, we need you guys talking and sharing your ideas and your thoughts with our Black and Beautiful family. So, tell us about your most recent social media post and explain the thought process behind choosing the post. What did you want the audience to walk away
The last post, I believe it was a reel. And actually one of your photo was in that reel, and
with? The real one.
um and it was the sound. I try to post intentionally on social media rather than just posting to post. So I heard, I believe it was a sound. It was Rihanna actually.
Mhm.
Um, I think it was like a speech. She had won an award, and she was just talking about celebrating ourselves. And I'm like, we don't do that enough. So I picked, I like all the images that I take, but the ones that spoke to me the most, that I felt connected with the most, the ones that to me that were like the most powerful. And I just wanted the women to know in those photos, that they need to celebrate themselves and they should be celebrated every day, no matter what, for their accomplishments, for, not, I don't like to say mistakes, but, choices that we make that don't necessarily work out the way we want them to, just everything. Waking up, brushing our teeth, everything.
All right, exactly. Being your authentic self. Now, Rakiya, I don't know if you know, but Black and Beautiful Chit Chat Connection, our motto here is a professional platform with an authentic twist. So the fact that you're saying that and you're empowering the women that you work with to be their authentic selves, to celebrate themselves in that authenticity is right in line with the work that we do here on this platform. So guys, I told you this is about to be a dope experience. Okay. Now, thank you for answering your social media question, your icebreaker. I'll answer, and I'm gonna just say this: I cannot stand social media. So when I should be posting, I don't post. I think the last post I had was the last podcast stream. Guys, I really need to do better. Hold me accountable, please. What do I want, my audience to walk away with? I want my audience to walk away with information. That's just how I see this. I see us needing so much information, even though things are a Google search. It seems like people shy away from the Google search. It's kind of awkward, but nevertheless, I'm here to bring information and uplift the voices of people of color in this country and in the world and beyond. So that's my answer to the icebreaker question. And we're going to keep it flowing. So I want to set the stage, guys. You guys know when I have a guest, I always have a format. We always have some fun segments that we're going to use. So today's segments are called Take a Flick. I got the juice. Let me take a sip for that. And allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. I don't own the rights to that song, so y'all copywriters don't be out there trying to get me. So take a flick. I got the juice, and allow me to enjoy myself are our segments for today. And we're gonna get into take a flick. Now, let's talk portrait photography. Now, as you know, I told you guys that on this platform, we are going to give you information. Do you even know what portrait photography is? So, according to Wikipedia, and guess what? We're going to remember that this is not a good source for research papers and dissertations. However, for the sake of a combo, we can use Wikipedia, right? So, portrait photography or portraiture, or the dog want to be a part of the podcast.
Can you hear them? Oh my god, hold
Yes,
on.
it's fine. It's awesome. So she's gonna go get the dog, okay? We're gonna wait for her to come back because we can't do this without her. But I thought it was interesting that at first, when I learned that she was taking portrait photography, and Rakiya called herself a portrait photographer, Rakiya, excuse me, called herself a portrait photographer. I said, I need to do a little research about this. So, portrait photography or portraiture is a type of photography aimed toward capturing the personality of a person or group of people by using effective lighting, backdrops, and poses. Ooh. So she talked a little bit about the process that it took for her to take my photograph at the Black Expo, and it seems that she talked about she has an eye for these things, and not to talk about you in the third person, but just talking to our audience. And so I went a little further, and Nectar Design, which is a communications and branding firm, they describe portrait photography as they bring out the character of a subject, right? The photographer will bring out the character of a subject, and they highlighted that each photographer is different in their portrait photography. So there is no portrait photographer that's the same. Would you agree, Rakaya?
I agree
Okay.
completely. Yeah.
Right. So they bring out the character of the subject by evoking a captivating message through personality. So you can say that portrait photography speaks louder than words through images, which is super dope. So I want to give you a chance to kind of respond to that. Given that you're the expert in this field, talk to us about these definitions. Are they spot on? Are they missing anything? School us.
I do feel like it is spot on. The way that I capture people. I mean, there's again, I don't plan anything out. I believe one thing was planned out. I'll have like the I think I shared with one of the images with you. I'll have an idea, like a concept in my head what I want to do, and then when the subject is in front of me, um, it usually changes because I kind of go off of them, like their energy, you know. And I want people to be themselves in front of the camera. And all the time, I feel like we tend to kind of shrink ourselves a lot, thinking like hiding ourselves away, thinking that oh my god, that that's not acceptable. I don't want them the public to see me in that way, but um, that's actually like you were talking about authenticity earlier. That's what makes you the most you, and I feel that it's important for us to see each other's humanity. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like that we are here for that reason to uplift one another, to um, help one another, right?
Mhm.
Um, Let me get back. I tend to go off topic. You were talking about portrait, the definition. Um,
Be yourself.
um, but I do believe that um, the definition is correct.
Yeah, cool. So, what I found interesting about portrait photography is since capturing the personality of the subject is the aim of portrait photography, you have to bring to light techniques behind each portrait type, right? And so there are essential techniques that can make your model's personality radiate. And this was given by Nectar Design, and they were basically telling a person if you were interested in portrait photography, these are some of the techniques that you would use. And so they went on to say that each type of portrait has a unique way of doing that, of allowing for somebody's personality to radiate. And by using precise lighting effects, even post production effects that set tones and evoke desired moods in the expression of one's subject. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about the types of portraits. So, you have traditional individual portraits, you have lifestyle portraits, you have candid or street portraits, group portraits, close up portraits, and conceptual portraits. Now, I wanted to ask you a question, Rakiya. Do you focus on one type of portrait, or do you bounce in between all of these types?
I bounce. It all depends on what a client wants. It all depends on what I have. I actually started out with street photography.
Mm.
Um, uh, that's actually my favorite. Actually, no, I don't have a favorite. I just like taking pictures.
Just give me a camera and let me take photos.
That's it.
You tend to lean towards most.
It's probably individual portraits.
Mhm.
Because I'm going to go back to the definition of photography. And then when they were talking about personality, I'm not sure if they meant by personality they meant soul, because I feel like you actually capture someone's soul. Not capture it like, in literal, but
You don't want to do that.
the essence of who they are
The essence,
in the
yeah.
photo. Like if they said the picture, what is it the saying? The picture speaks 1,000 words.
Mhm.
Or even like the eyes are the window to the soul. I believe that there have been times where I've taken a picture of someone and I can, like, later on, I'll go back and I'll look at it and I can kind of tell that they were going through something. Um, and even if they are smiling, you actually see when someone's truly not happy, or you can see a lot of that in photographs. So I feel like it's more than just capturing the personality. For me, it's more than that. Um, it's showing who they are. Like, I guess that is personality, right?
No, but
Yeah.
you're digging deeper because it
Yeah.
means something to you. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about you is you can tell that you're passionate about capturing the essence of that person and allowing for them to see their reflection the way that you see them, which is
Yes.
super dope. Like
It's amazing.
I'm blown away by your talent, to be honest. I can't wait to share these pictures with you guys. You guys are gonna be blown away too. Now, they also talk about these core elements that make a good portrait. So they said location, lighting, composition, emotion, and technical settings. So when we talk about location, lighting, composition, emotions, and technical settings, how do you kind of set your subject up where they're most comfortable and you're able to capture what it is you're looking for?
Hmm. Usually it's sound, but it's usually not about them feeling comfortable, because I go back to the portrait and how you felt about you not feeling that this was the good side, the good side that I was capturing, but then you saw yourself and you was like, oh, that's not true. All my sides look amazing. Like,
I because
um, so the comfort level is important to me, but usually that's kind of like in the middle. Like first I'll think about composition or like it all depends on the day.
Mhm,
And I'm actually music actually is something that really inspires me. Like if I hear a song,
mhm.
or if I see like one of the photos that I shared with you, it was in front of a mural. So I saw the mural and the photo shoot was based off that one mural.
Oh, wow.
And the headpiece that I made as well was based off of that one mural. Um, so it usually has to do with mood, and it's usually my mood, I think. Well, no, which is influenced by music. It's not mood, but like the tone will set the tone, and of course, it's the subject. I see the subject slash client.
Yes.
Usually, it's what they want first, and then I'll ask if I can have a little bit of artistic, like a little freedom. Um, but yeah, I hope I answered the questions.
You did, you did.
Kinda.
How did you develop this eye? Like, is this training? Is this innate? Like, what? How do you have such a great eye for this? And what brought you to portrait photography?
Um, let's see. I took photography 101. I first started with film
Mhm.
at a 35 millimeter. It was for a class. I was a journalism major for about a semester.
That's the best. I like.
But no, for about a year. And my daughter was my first subject. So I'm going to say my oldest.
Mhm.
And I would take photos of her. It'd be just like for projects. Um, and then we would have assignments. And then I would put the camera down, I really was like, oh, this is just for journalism. Then I think I wanted to have a hobby, something, different.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just was drawn to it. Or I say it was drawn, or it was kind of like it chose me. That's what
Mhm.
I'd say. But I just every now and then would pick up the camera, and then finally I took a picture of myself, and I think I may have posted it. It's an old photo. I think it's on my personal Instagram, and my mother showed it to one of her coworkers, and she said, "Wow, I want to look like that." And I was like, "Really? It's a phone photo."
With-
I think I used a Lightroom app on my phone. I was just fooling around, and then I started to kind of take it serious and started practicing.
Mhm.
Um, and would just go outside with my daughter, of course, because that's at that time I didn't really think of myself as a photographer. It actually took me a long time to actually tell people that I did do photography. I would just say I took pictures, but I would just kind of downplay it, like, "Oh, I'm not serious about it." I'm
Right.
not a real photographer, but it was a push from my mother and my aunt. Kind of like me, like, "You
Wow.
have a really good eye for it." And I'm just like, "I do?" You know?
Yes. Thank you, Mom. Shout out to Mom. Hi, Miss Hernandez. Thank you for taking this beautiful lady and letting her empower us. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay. Yeah, and then from there, I just wanted and then I started taking pictures of myself. A lot of the pictures actually, all the pictures that are on social media, I've taken of myself. Very rare do I let anybody take pictures of me. Um, but the way that I look in the photos, I'm like, wow, I'm not bad looking after all. Or, I'd like not even that bad looking, but the feeling that I get from looking at myself, like it's definitely helps to boost your esteem. I'm
Mhm.
like, I want everyone to feel like this. Everyone should have photos like this. Everyone should feel this way about themselves. And so that's when I started offering it to other people.
That is so cool. I forgot to ask you about your background. Can you tell us about your background? Your
Like,
your virtual background right now.
oh, so actually, my fellow photographer, her name is Dana Cole. I purchased these off of her Etsy store. She's located in Oslo, Norway. She's another Black photographer. Amazing. She does a lot of beauty photography. and she created these. Yeah, and a lot of them. I bought a lot of them in her store. I have this is the first time I'm actually using it.
Oh,
Yeah, but
what's
it's
that?
gorgeous. I love them.
Shout out to
She's talented. Go check her out.
yeah,
She's on Instagram and Facebook.
say her name again. What's her name again?
Oh, Dana Cole, Dana Cole.
Shout out to Dana Cole. What a beautiful background. I'm about to go on her Etsy store too. We just shouting out black women on this podcast. I love it. So, can you walk us through your full process, like from picture to print?
Okay, picture to print.
Mhm.
Now are we talking about personal projects or are we talking about clients?
You can
Because
choose.
my okay, so we'll do the personal first. Um, well, actually, no, we'll do a client. 'Cause the client I had was actually right. I was in the middle of COVID. So a fellow, I'm also a nurse, so it was a fellow nurse. I'd worked with her before. She was a model, but her modeling career came to an end when she developed this. I think she was in a bad car accident and developed a seizure disorder. Never modeled again. She lost her portfolio and she wanted to, wanted new images. And she completely handed everything over to me. Like I helped her with her wardrobe, the lighting. We did it in my dining room because no studios were open at that time. I painted my own backdrop. Well, I purchased some canvas um, from Blick Arts because we don't have anywhere around this area that sells them in large, Um, painted it and got some things from Amazon. Amazon's great. Love Amazon.
Yeah.
And just did like some really pretty pictures of her, very regal. It's kind of I didn't even know what I was going to do until the day of, and it was one light that I used from Amazon, one bulb. It was like an $80 light,
Wow.
and yeah, of course I had a little assistant. I put my kids to work, holding the lights for me. But just doing various, like having them hold it. I would have them hold the light and change direction, and with my eye, I would just look to see where, like how the photo would turn out. Like I would just look, and then and my camera, my settings, and then you were talking about the definition of photography. It talks about technical skill. That's actually where that comes into play because I do very little editing, like my posts, very little. I set it up. It wasn't always like that. It took me a long time to go from shooting it automatic to shoot the manual, um, where I have my settings so that it comes out exactly the way my eyes are seeing it.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but I like to use a lot of fabrics. I love tulle. There are a few photos I have where I think I just wrapped the tulle around her head. We just a lot of um, an experimental approach. I love editorial photos. I don't even. I've had a mentor, and we had to do this exercise where we um, had to define like the type of photography. Like, what would you say your type of photography is? And I was like, I have no idea. Um, and it's like a little bit like a twist, a little bit of editorial with some avant-garde because I will use a lampshade in a minute. If it will make that photo, if it, like
You know, I
yeah, like
I love
um
it.
yeah, and then let's see, personal projects, a lot of things. A lot of some of I have yet to do these projects. I have a notebook full of projects that are personal projects that are inspired by music. That's actually usually what inspires me is music and light. Um, Usually it's very like a lot of R&B, a lot of soul, a lot of music that
You say
it's
what genre?
yeah.
What's your favorite song?
I have so many.
What's in
Oh,
your playlist right now?
I have to look at my phone.
You're like, wait, what was I listening to today?
I like Spotify, but I also like Apple Music. The last song that I was listening to was Eric Benet's Love of My Own. Um,
I
And I
like
was actually thinking about a photo. I have pictures. I have so many songs on my phone. I have a screenshots of songs that come up. Oh my goodness. Favorite artist actually, Robert Glasper.
it. Ooh.
I'll think of that, but in terms of I don't have one song, but I love Robert Glasper. I have a radio station dedicated to Robert Glasper.
And you just listen to him rock out.
Yep.
I love it.
Um, I can't listen. I don't like to have a quiet room when I'm working, but I cannot listen to music because when I'm listening, the ideas start to swarm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can see what I want. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
I'll see the photo shoot. Like my eyes will be open, but I can see exactly what I want, and then I can envision down to the like what they're wearing, where the location is, thing. So it's yeah.
You're such a gift. I'm so glad your mom and your aunt pushed you into. Guys, if you don't learn anything from today, walk away with this. Your innate talent is going to bring you before mighty men. Like you have to really think about what it is that you're just good at. You don't have to try. You don't have to study that hard. You're just good at it. That is your talent. And that's what you take with and you run with for dear life. And you make that sucker multiply because you'll see how it'll feed into your bosom. I'm pretty sure you didn't think you would have an LLC, and now you're a business owner and you have clients who seek you out, and you're sought after. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm super happy your mom and your aunt was like, girl, if you don't go be a photographer right now, because you have this innate eye for things, and then not only do you have this eye, but you can envision things like that and make them come to fruition. That is super cool. I know I keep saying it over and over again, but guys, I'm so blown away by her talent. I can't wait to show you. So, can I ask you one more question for this segment? Do you
Yep.
have a dark room?
Hmm?
Do you have a dark room?
No, I would like one. I was thinking just talking about it with my daughter, and I'm like, I really want to get back into developing film. I can have one. I've got a I have a basement, so with no light, so I can eventually. I would like to get back into that. I feel like it's kind of like a dying craft. I think.
Right. I was like, and then I said to myself when I asked that question, I was like, we are in the digital age. You don't even need that anymore. You can literally everything is digitized, which,
Mhm.
which makes it easy and more accessible.
Mhm.
Just you strike me as a dark room, as a
Yeah.
dark room photographer, like mad scientist, like hours upon end, bringing your photographs to life. Perhaps that's on the horizon for you.
Maybe you never know.
All right, guys. So that is the end of Take a Flick segment, and we are gonna move into I Got the Juice. This is my favorite part because now we are going to be able to see some of her work. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, guys, I am so excited because we are about to get into her photos. Yes. Do you see this excellence right here? So I want you, if you don't mind, to walk us through how you captured these individuals and what's the story behind.
Okay, so this one is I've worked with her before. Her name is Tanisha. She's the nurse. I this is the one where you can't really see the mural in the background, but this is actually taken like afternoon, like 12 slash was it a couple years ago. I know we had like this heat wave and it was like in April. So it was like really hot out. The sun was really strong. There's actually natural light that's coming in on her face. But I saw this mural, had all these bright colors, and I'm like, I need to take a picture in front of it. So I ordered this dress, which is another a I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she makes tulle dresses.
Mm.
She's located in Atlanta, I want to say. Um, Picked out this color because I love yellows.
Me too. Especially
Made
women. And
yes, yes. So I actually chose. So I reached out to her. She's just a very like a free spirit. Like I love this woman. Um, and the floral headpiece, I couldn't find a headpiece that I liked,
Mhm.
so I decided to make it on my own, like with trial and error. A lot of YouTube videos. The
You made
florals and foam. hmm
wow.
It was fun making it. It was
That's
up.
beautiful.
Thank you. I love it. Um, and she came, and we just. This is just the first place because we did a couple of 2 different locations. I bought I had I have an off-camera flash and I put like a colored gel on it, just experimenting, you know. Um, and the way that it reflects off of her skin, that was not planned at all. Like I had no idea how it was going to turn out.
Wow.
I knew they were going to be bomb because of the sun and her skin. That's all I knew. I'm like, he's going to be, because of her. But this exactly like a clear like representation of her and like who she is. Just amazing. But yeah,
Gorgeous.
so her skin in the mural inspired this.
She is absolutely gorgeous. Girl, if you're watching this, what's her name?
She actually is a burlesque dancer as well. Her name is Tanisha, but she has a tachycardia because she is a nurse. That is her name, and she's on IG as well.
You are
Um,
gorgeous, pumpkin. Like, woo! Killing this photo. And you guys see what I mean about her eye? Are you ready to go to the next one?
yes.
Talk to
Mer-
me.
Mercy. This is the woman that I shot in my dining room.
Wow.
We used experimenting with light. I love shadows. I like a good dark and moody photo. It was initially in color, and then I love black and white. And then I did a lot of not a lot, but a little editing, like a little extra lightening up on the highlights, like her nose and her lips. Like I love Mercy's features,
Yes.
like her lips and her nose, her cheeks, just like everything. She is um she Ghana born. I believe she was born in Ghana.
Wow.
But I just
Ghana. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you want to adopt the sister?
Absolutely love her. This is the one who was a model. And this photo here, I think because she knew how to move. She didn't, it's been over 20 years, but she definitely didn't lose it because the way she was flipping her locks.
I know.
Um,
Caught one in her face.
yep, yeah,
Yeah.
she's had her head flipped. She just flipped it forward, and I said, "Don't move,
Oh my
don't you move." And then my daughter actually we had that Amazon light that was
God.
like $80, had it holding it over her head, and I just took the picture. I think I had a 50 millimeter lens. That's my go-to. I love that lens. It just perfect.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I love this picture.
I love it too. Oh my goodness. Woo! I don't even want this to end. Oh, okay, okay. Next one. Are you ready for the next?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah, Ashley.
Honey.
She's This is my maternity
Honey.
client. This
Oh,
picture right here is my favorite. Oh, they're all my favorite, but like the ones that I sent you are like my most favorite. But this one right here, and the one eye being covered.
the pearls. The
Yes,
pearls get me.
yes,
The pearls are I'm so attracted to these pearls.
she
And
did her wardrobe. She came
oh,
up with everything.
she
hmm
came up with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
she wanted that. I think she was inspired by Beyonce's video. Which one was it? The video where she had the black hat on. Um,
Oh, girl, now you got me because I don't listen to Beyonce.
I don't even know.
Don't come for me. I know
I forgot. No,
it's a
I
recent.
don't judge.
Mhm. She had
But
the big brim black hat on.
yes, that one. I'm pretty. You see the photo. You may not listen to the music, but I'm pretty sure you saw like something. But yeah, and I think how many lights was this? I think one light. I loved working with the minimal amount of equipment. I love to see what I can do with just one light. I don't know. We were just having fun. We were listening to. I don't remember what we were listening to because a lot of my clients they come up with a client like I make a playlist up specifically for them. I'm like, listen, we need to get you in the mood. All depending on the music. Like I will not. One thing I would not do. I would not allow. I love. Don't judge music taste, but I would not allow Cardi B unless because a lot of pictures that I've like when the pictures come out, like the face is all screwed up and but like I think there's a time and place for it, but like I've had photos. I did a photo shoot. It was my first shoot. It was a boudoir shoot.
Ooh.
She did some of the songs were good for a little while she's listening to Cardi B, but it got a little. I was like, no, I'm like these are
Right.
you don't want you. Yeah, like the face. She's like,
Right.
those are good. Yeah, she was feeling it. I did.
So funny.
But her, God, I don't know what we were listening to. But she had a great time. The session actually wound up going over a little bit longer because I don't know whether she was having fun too, but I was having fun too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, just one more photo. This is like one of the very last photos that we got. I was like, just one more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is one of my
She looks so
favorite.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's what she wanted. Like I always ask potential clients, like, how do you want your photos to feel? And she said regal. And that's what we did.
Certainly did that. So it's very regal. And where did you capture this? What was the location?
It was a studio in Schenectady. This was in a studio. Forgot the name of it. She's a photographer too. But she does like headshots and like sports photography.
Super cool.
Click Studio, I think it's called in Schenectady. Yeah, I've rented from her before. Very big, nice, high ceilings. Yeah.
Oh man. Last but not least. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did this. This is one of my like. This is after. This is like right at the beginning, like after things opened up. This is during COVID when things opened up. This was at a workshop in Brooklyn.
Oh wow.
A black photographer, Kesha Lambert. Love her work. Love her. Just and this the model, but she's actually a designer, a wedding dress designer. Right here, the photograph. Her name is Andrea Pitter Campbell.
Oh wow.
She has a bridal line, not just bridal line. She does a lot. Pantora Bridal, but she also has so much stuff going on. I think Terea is her other clothing line that she has as well. But she's friends with Kesha and graced us with her presence and came in, to be a model for us. But it's one of my proudest photos. I love this photo of her because she's like, I'm just thinking about everything she was doing. I know she must have been doing a million things. She actually competed on, it's a show with Tim Gunn. It's Amazon. I know she has a clothing line. She won a competition. I forgot the name of the show. It was on Netflix. But I can't imagine what she was doing in the middle of all this. She decided to come and do this for a friend. But I feel like this is like a very not represent. Yeah, this is like who she is. Like this personifies like her, just strength. Amazing. I think she opened up a second location. I think bridal store. Like I love this very raw. I feel like it was like the sweat. Like if you could see the sweat glistening on her chest, the sun was beaming on her. And I believe we took this. This was in the middle. This was a car garage. You know how in the city,
Oh wow.
how they have those parking garages. This was actually in like the driveway of one of the parking garages. And I got this shot. She had on roller skates.
That's giving me life.
Yeah.
I love those roller skates.
Yeah, and that's her dress. I love roller skates.
I love it. Mm. I like the pose. I like the hair hold.
Yeah.
Hot. This is really, really hot. So this one is your favorite?
They're all my favorites.
So I'm gonna go through one more time to give everyone a good look at this beautiful portrait photographer's work. Now, thank you so much for letting us see some of your work. But guys, her contact information, i.e., her IG and her TikTok and her website, are in the description box below. So if you would like to get in contact with her and or book her and or see her gallery, you'll be able to do so or follow her on her social media platforms. I'll give you an opportunity tell us that at the end and iterate how we can get in contact with you and how we can see more of your work. Okay. Now I want to ask you two special questions in the I Got the Juice segment. So we just saw your beautiful work, your beautiful eye. Now, do you think you need a special eye to capture people of color and in particular black people?
Yes. I feel like you need to have a connection.
Hmm.
I feel like not just anyone can. I feel like there needs to be a connection there. Um, and yeah.
I love that answer. Not just an eye, but a connection.
Mm.
I had a headshot taken for this leadership program that I was a part of, and I showed my friend, and my friend was like, "Was the photographer black who took it?" And I was like, "Yeah. How'd you know?" And they were like, "You could tell they know how to take pictures of people of color."
Mhm.
I'm hollered laughing because
Yes.
yes, you need to know how to.
And that's usually what some clients that inquired, people that inquired with me was because I am a black and I'm a woman, and then they saw not only do I know how to photograph, but the skin tones, because we're all brown, but we're different shades of brown. you know, different brown with a yellow undertone, red undertone. You gotta know and recognize.
So
But
do you think you're gonna put together like a training session so people can learn? You gonna go to
th-
your school, you gonna open up a photography school one
and
day?
maybe down the line, I wouldn't say no. I never, you never know.
Right. So have you found that there are any barriers to how we're captured as people of color? And if so, like what do you do to remove those type of barriers when clients work with you?
Hmm. I feel like the only barriers that there are the ones that we put on ourselves. And
Mm.
I feel like the way to remove them is by working through it, which is a lot of time where I feel, um, but I feel like we do during sessions or even during a consultation. It's usually where it starts, trying to remove the barrier.
Mm. I like that. And you mentioned that even in our first segment, Take a Flick, you know, sometimes your clients come to you like, I need to lose 10 pounds before I let you take a picture, or I don't like this and I don't like that. And you have to kind of get them out of that space. I love that. I love that not only are you a photographer, but you're a therapist.
In ways,
you,
I'm
do,
a good listener.
you do some therapy work. All right, guys, that is the end of the I Got the Juice segment. And we are going into our last and final segment. And allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. I really like that song, guys. I don't know. I don't own the rights to it, but I like
Mm.
it. So, could you tell us a little bit about what it's like being a photographer?
Um, being a photographer is well for me it's a lot because everything is a distraction. Just because of how like I'm inspired by like light and just everything. Um, being a photographer is being a business owner. It's easy to be a photographer, I think, than it is a business owner.
Right.
Um, but I feel like you said, wait, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
What is it like being a photographer?
Oh, it's fun. I feel like I get lost sometimes in my own thoughts, my mind, my imagination. I feel like I see things differently, which like I see the world and people in a
Mhm.
different light, um, literal and figuratively.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
This is your calling.
Yeah, and to make people feel good about themselves. And then that's why we're all here to make each other feel good about themselves. We all, I mean, it's through, photography and helping them to express themselves.
So, do you have any advice for those who want to explore this industry?
Just start taking pictures. Use your phone.
Mm.
Doesn't even matter. That's where I started. A phone pointing to a lot of I get a lot of I have had questions. Well, someone will DM me and ask, "Oh, what camera should I use?" Like, just doesn't matter. The camera, it's the eye at the end of the day. Like, sure, like I have two different cameras. The one I first started out with, and then I have a both Canons, and one is like a full frame. Where I guess, to be honest with you, I'm still learning the technical terms and what a full frame is. I think you can print them. No, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything because if it's incorrect, I'm gonna feel have somebody call me out. Um, but it doesn't matter. Use your phone, like, especially with these iPhones,
Yeah.
have amazing cameras. I think just start and do it every day. What is it? 10,000 times? You have to do something 10,000 times, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
I don't even think I've taken 10,000 pictures yet. I don't know.
You probably have. You just.
Maybe. I feel like I'm still learning myself. So, learn something new
That's
every
it.
day. Yeah, and it's always good to use what you have. A lot of people who are interested in pursuing photography think that you have to have the latest and greatest and this flash, that flash. Like, you really don't.
Hmm.
Like, I bought an $80 light off of Amazon. You know, I use curtains for wardrobe, sheets for backdrops. Like,
And the lampshade, honey. Don't forget
yes,
the lampshade.
yeah, the
Don't
lampshade.
forget the lampshade.
Mhm.
Right. So just go with it.
Yeah,
I
just
love
start.
it. Do you think that photographers are the catalyst for disrupting the narrative on how people of color are seen?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about why.
Actually, I have there's a photographer. Her name is LaJune. She's in Texas. That's what she's all about, is changing the narrative of how Black people are seen, and families. But I think it's us, um, changing the narrative. I'm just trying to think of how. That's it's a simple but a complicated question. I feel that we are, by us photographers being ourselves and photographing what we want to photograph and not what we think we have to, which I've been guilty a lot of the time of, at times, just doing what I think people might like instead of doing what's in me or
Hmm.
expressing. So a lot of the photographs that I take is me expressing myself as an expression
Hmm.
of me. Um,
I love it. I love it. So, given that it's Black History Month, And you mentioned some people, but I want to ask you this in a focused way. Do you have any mentors or individuals that inspire you and inspire your eye?
Um, let's see. I have a mentor. Her name is Dr. Tamaya Colvin. She is a photographer, but right now primarily she's focused in education. She has a conference called the Photo Cookout, where all of us get together. You know, it doesn't. It's not just Black people, but majority are. You know, are we're all cousins. We all come together. She had the last one was in Florida. Before that, in Louisiana, no, New Orleans, which I didn't get to attend. But every year, and she's just all for us, like really a true person about community over competition, like us having each other. Um, and she's always doing a lot for out of the goodness of her heart, um, for us, creating things for us. She actually has it's a private Facebook group with us. Under the mastermind, I think it's Momentum Mastermind is what I did. I think it was a couple of years ago. She taught me a lot about focusing, how to organize myself, getting my finances in order as a business owner. Um, I am inspired by, again, the photographer Kesha Lambert. Absolutely love her. I've only met her twice though, but I don't know. I think something about social media where you feel
You know
like you
them.
know somebody, but she being around her, she has a really gentle, a good spirit. Um, what else? There are so many. Um, there is her name is Taylor Brumford. She does beauty photography, but she also does product photography. Um, she inspires me to want to do product. I'm like, maybe I should all these amazing Black photographers, these women, a lot of women. Me, I'm like, me, you know what? I could do that too. Maybe I should try that out too. Um, Renisha Franklin. I think she's in Washington. She's had her portraits in the museum in Washington. She had an exhibit. Um, but she had a couple. Forgot the name of the project. Project Noir, I believe it what it was called. Photographing Black women in regal positions. Um,
I think she might have been at the Brooklyn Museum too one time.
she may
I've
have been.
heard of that before. I might be wrong, but yeah.
The one that I didn't know was Washington because I wanted to go, but I didn't have a chance to go. To go see before they took the portraits down. Um, I have a lot more that I can name, but I think we'd be here for a very long time.
Oh man, I'm so inspired by you, and we are coming up on the hour. I try to keep our episodes an hour long because people have a short attention span on social media. Just kidding, I came for y'all. Y'all didn't send for me, but close as we close out, I just want to give you some space to talk to us about any final thoughts that you have, and then let us know how we can get in contact with you.
Final thoughts. Um, hmm. If if you're anyone's uncomfortable, people are uncomfortable of getting in front of the camera, start by taking your own photo. That's
Mm.
how I started, getting comfortable in front of the camera. If you want to start a business or start taking photos, do it. Don't overthink it. Actually, don't overthink anything. Just do it. Do whatever makes you happy, within reason, of course. Um, Can't think of anything else.
That sounds like a great final thought. So, how do we get in contact with you, beautiful?
I'm on all social media platforms. Let me see. We have TikTok at Rakiyalynette, Instagram as well, Facebook. I do have a Twitter, but I don't use it. I just have all these social media because that's where we are right now, the digital age. I'm not really a fan of social media myself, but I pop up because that's where you need to be. And if you don't go with the times, you know what happens.
Right.
um, you get erased. But if any, yeah, I do have a website as well, the rakiyalynette.com. I was
And
going to say
all the
something.
links will be down below, guys. So just scroll down and you'll be able to just click easily and get in contact with her. Rakiya, it has been such a pleasure to have you here at Black and Beautiful Chit Chat Connections. I couldn't be more thankful.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, guys, tune in next week when we have some more amazing guests coming your way. And if you want to get in contact with Rakiya, make sure that you look in the description box below, click on all of her links, follow her, go look at her gallery. She's amazing. And there's more coming your way from her. So, thank you for being with us. May God bless you and heaven smile upon you. Until next time, my Black and Beautiful family, peace.